In a world that feeds on outrage, where every headline sparks fury and every comment ignites a war, there exists a secret, an ancient silence buried beneath centuries of noise. This secret was practiced by men who outlasted empires, who smiled while the world burned. They called it the art of mastering anger. Anger has always been the easiest flame to ignite but the hardest to contain. It promises control but delivers chaos, tainting logic with adrenaline. Yet, those who understood dark psychology knew, anger was never power, only the illusion of it. To the Stoics, anger was a disease of the mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote in solitude, surrounded by enemies and betrayal, yet his pen moved gently, not in rage. He saw anger as a self-inflicted wound, one that made a man his own executioner. Imagine being insulted, publicly humiliated, or even betrayed. The pulse quickens, the breath shortens. But in the Stoic mind, there is no eruption, only observation. The mind watches itself burn, then calmly extinguishes the spark. Dark psychology defines anger as cognitive distortion, an emotional hallucination that makes temporary feelings appear as universal truths. The Stoic secret was to doubt those feelings, to pause long enough to question the storm rising within. Every time your blood boils, the Stoic whispers, analyze, not react. Emotions are chemical visitors, transient and deceitful. Control came not from suppression, but objective recognition of their impermanence. Epictetus, once a slave, turned his suffering into philosophy. He could not control the chains on his wrists, but he mastered what no one could touch, his response. Anger died where awareness began. The modern world confuses anger with strength. We glorify outrage, mistake fury for authority. Yet, in every roar there hides fear, fear of being powerless, fear of losing control. The Stoics dismantled that illusion silently. The Stoic method begins with perception. Nothing external carries offense until the mind declares it so. Insults are echoes, powerless until believed. That understanding disarms every provocation. Dark psychology teaches that anger feeds on attention. The more you justify it, the larger it grows. The Stoics severed this nourishment, starving anger by indifference, turning fury into philosophical clarity. Think of anger as fire. It feels protective, warm, intoxicating, but it burns indiscriminately. The Stoic learns to look into the flames, not to embrace them, but to study their nature. Awareness becomes the extinguisher. Seneca warned that anger begins with weakness masquerading as justice. We tell ourselves we are right, that rage is noble. In truth, we fear the quiet reflection that reveals we are fragile beneath the fury. To never get angry is not to be numb, it is to be in total command of internal storms. The Stoic crafts a mental citadel, where external chaos cannot breach the gates. There, silence reigns sovereign over emotion. Every insult carries a hidden invitation to become reactive. The Stoic declines politely. He sees the bait, studies its pattern, and lets it float away, while the rest of the world takes the hook. The psychology of anger thrives on confusion between identity and emotion. When someone attacks us, we think our essence is wounded. The Stoic separates self from sensation, knowing that identity is untouchable by words. In cognitive behavioral therapy, echoes of Stoic language appear. Reframing emotion is modern science, but ancient wisdom practiced it 2 millennia ago. The human brain has always been its own battlefield. Anger gives temporary power but permanent weakness. The Stoic understands that fury may win arguments but always loses composure. True mastery is invisible, impossible to provoke, unshaken under any insult. Dark psychologists study manipulation. They know angry people are easiest to control. One sharp word, one cruel phrase, and their clarity dissolves. The Stoic, emotionless and observant, becomes immune to that game. When your mind rages, the Stoics prescribe a question: what would reason say? Not the ego, not the pride, but cold, unfeeling reason, because it cannot be insulted, only informed. Rage weakens memory, dulls logic, and distorts time. Moments seem endless under its spell, decisions irreversible. Stoic detachment returns perspective, reminding you that every burn fades, every fury cools. The Stoic secret spreads like shadow, subtle, quiet, absolute. In a society addicted to outrage, it feels alien, almost supernatural. But its results are measurable: calm under pressure, clarity in crisis, and power no one can steal. At its core, Stoicism is emotional alchemy. It transmutes anger into understanding, turning insult into insight. The same energy that destroys the weak becomes fuel for the disciplined mind. Imagine facing public humiliation with a calm smile, watching chaos while remaining unmoved. That is not suppression, it is transcendence. The audience expects reaction, the Stoic gives them mystery. The Stoic knows anger is communication from insecurity, a subconscious cry demanding validation. Once that truth is exposed, rage loses its mask. What remains is clarity, quiet, and control. Modern neuroscience confirms Stoic practice. Deep breathing and cognitive distance recalibrate the nervous system. They shift the mind from impulse to intention, restoring rational command over chaos. In silence, the Stoic find strategy. Anger makes noise, rationality whispers. Only one leads to longevity. The calm man outlasts every tumult, becoming a threat to those still enslaved by impulse. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire besieged by war and disease, yet his private journal reveals serenity. He trained his mind to treat outrage as weather, inevitable, but never personal. He simply waited for it to pass. When we refuse to react, aggressors lose their script. They thrive on expected responses, our detachment disrupts their control. Stoic composure becomes silent rebellion. To the dark psychologist, emotional neutrality is ultimate power. The one who cannot be provoked cannot be controlled. The Stoics stood centuries ahead, psychologically invincible long before the term existed. Anger divides the self, splitting rational mind from emotional body. Stoicism reconnects them, re-establishing order. Every calm response is a declaration of mental unity. We live in an age of engineered outrage. Media, algorithms, even advertising weaponize anger for attention. The Stoic defies that economy of chaos by rejecting emotional consumption entirely. The Stoic secret is not isolation but dominion. In controlling one's mind, one controls every interaction. The battlefield shifts from external conflict to inner governance. The Stoic observes his own reactions as if they belong to another. This detachment turns emotion into data, transforming chaos into ordered thought. It is the highest form of self-discipline. To never get angry does not mean to never feel. It means to understand feeling as transient, uninterpreted energy. The Stoic channels it into purpose, a silent, unbreakable force. As the episode closes, remember, the angriest man shouts, but the calm man commands. The Stoic stands silent amid fire, unburned, unbroken. He does not escape emotion, he masters it completely. That is the true dark psychology of peace, that serenity is more terrifying than rage. The Stoic wins not by fighting, but by never entering the battlefield. The secret is simple: you cannot be provoked if you own your mind.